game plan for your day. So when it comes to sleep, who needs to watch out for caffeine?
Well, it turns out there's new research that we now know that certain people are more caffeine sensitive than others. The rough amount that you should probably have during any given day is somewhere between 200 and 250 milligrams at the maximum. But believe it or not, we now know how to tell who's caffeine sensitive and who's not.
So you got a scale. I want you all to pay attention to this. Do a little quick test here, figure out where you are in this pattern.
So what I want people in the audience to do is raise their hand if they had a cup of coffee at night and it would affect their sleep always. So go ahead and raise your hand if it would always affect your sleep. All right, keep your hands raised.
They're caffeine sensitive.
How about the next round? So people who usually it would affect your sleep. Keep your hands raised. Keep your hands raised. Usually affect your sleep. All right. How about sometimes affect your sleep? Sometimes affect your sleep. I'm on occasion sometimes. So everybody who's got their hand raised actually turns out to be caffeine sensitive. Everybody. Believe it or not, now let's ask the audience, how many people out there are never affected by caffeine? So believe it or not, you people might be able to actually have caffeine a lot later in the day, and it's not going to have nearly as big an effect on your sleep.
So let's go back and go with this plan to stop caffeine from wrecking your sleep. Now, you mentioned 200 and 250 milligrams of caffeine. What does that actually equate to?
So roughly 2 cups of drip coffee, you'd fall into about 100, 110 milligrams of caffeine per cup. With tea, you're looking at probably somewhere between 60 milligrams or so. And the big thing that people need to remember is if you're drinking more than this, don't go cold turkey. I've had patients end up in the ER with heart palpitations, anxiety, even to the point of feeling nauseous. So if you're drinking a lot of caffeine, you need to narrow it down slowly.
Let's help Gladys. She drinks 5 cups of coffee. I understand. How are you, Gladys?
I'm fine.
Hey, Gladys. Good to meet you.
So you took that quiz with us. Where would you put yourself in terms of how caffeine affects your sleep?
Everything. I don't get any sleep at all. I'm a light sleeper, a pin drops, and I'm up all night. That's it.
So obviously the caffeine is important to you, otherwise you would have given it up.
Yes.
So I want you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Take this pitcher of coffee, and I want you to pour it in the different times that you normally take your coffee.
Okay.
So what time do you get up in the morning normally?
6 o'clock. Okay. I have 4 kids that have to go on the go to get them to school.
Okay.
So 6 o'clock would be my first.
All right.
Now I'm back from taking the kids to school, so it's 8 o'clock.
Finally some time to yourself.
I get to enjoy that one. But I'm already thinking I have runs, so 10 o'clock. So that gets me going. Now I'm picking the kids up by 1:50, 2 o'clock my next one.
So that's your 4th cup of coffee so far.
Yes, already. Yep. Now I have cheerleading, basketball practice for kids. Last one, 6 o'clock.
These are demanding kids you have.
Yes.
All right, so that's 5 cups of coffee spread throughout the day. Dr. Bruce, give us the game plan. This is important. What are the best times to drink the coffee to avoid these headaches?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. What we want to do is we actually want to have you drinking your first cup of coffee at 9.
Okay.
All right, now that's going to be might be a little bit difficult for waking up in the morning, but I want you to see if you can do it by 9. Then the next one that you're going to have, we're going to actually have iced coffee. So a little bit different. I know it's chilly outside, but what I want you to do is do iced coffee, and here's why. You're going to cool down the temperature of the coffee itself. You're going to drink it very quickly, and then you're going to take a 20-minute nap.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. I like the 20-minute nap.
Yeah, so I call this the Napa Latte. All right, and it works really, really well because here's what happens is it'll take your system about 20 minutes for the caffeine to tick up and be able to have its effect, and you'll reduce your sleep drive by getting about 20 minutes of stage 1, stage 2 sleep. You'll be good for 4 hours. And what we've done here now is we've reduced her amount of caffeine by almost half.
All right, we got more for you though. These are the 2 other ways that are going to help you keep the coffee feeling without so much caffeine. And this next one is all about making your morning caffeine buzz last longer using echinacea tea.
So this is really interesting. So it turns out that echinacea actually takes that alert feeling and actually spreads it out a little bit longer. So that's why we're able to take away some of those morning cups of coffee, because we're actually going to be able to push that feeling throughout the morning all the way up into your Napa Latte. So I would ask you to take this at around 11.
Your tank now is going to feel like you're overwhelming with energy.
Okay, I like the energy.
Okay, so last tip. This is a really important one for people like me and most of you who are a little caffeine sensitivity. You're going to break down any remaining caffeine that might have snuck through the lines before you go to bed. How do you neutralize caffeine?
So it turns out that foods in the brassica category, so what we're talking about is kale, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, all of these actually help break down the caffeine a little bit more quickly so that it metabolizes through your system. Because again, I think that that very last cup of coffee
Okay.
is really doing some serious damage. The thing people don't realize is caffeine has a half-life of somewhere between 7 and 10 hours. So that means that half of it is still on board. So if you're drinking it at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock before cheer practice, the big problem there is it's definitely going to last into your sleep.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
We'll be right
you.
back.
Coming up, television icon Marlo Thomas, a trailblazer for women, activist, and author. She's dedicated her life to helping thousands of sick children. Now, Dr. Oz honors her with a special tribute she doesn't see coming. Next.
Whoever said a doctor's visit isn't fun has obviously never been to the Dr. Oz show. Is that right? Make your appointment today. Go to DrOz.com and sign up for free tickets.
Dr. Oz is bringing healthy back. Join the conversation and get social at DrOz.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Oh, did he move off
Walmart
Pinterest?
Pharmacy is now a preferred pharmacy.
And echinacea is also good for boosting the immune system and many other things. You can search it online, and for other teas to slow you down and help you sleep are chamomile, lavender, horehound, skullcap, herbs. Okay.